this in mind, I would like to welcome our first speaker of today, Xavi Muñoz, who is partner at ECIJA law firm and one of Spain's leading gambling lawyers. Xavi is here to provide us with a quick update on the regulatory situation in Spain's online gambling market. Xavi, welcome. Thank you very much for being here. And the stage is all yours. You can come either here or here. There's a step there and there's a higher step here. Okay, welcome and thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hi everyone, good morning, buenos días a todos. Thanks Willem and to the organization and of course the partners and the sponsors. Okay, I don't know how, oh, all right. Good morning everyone and I hope we have a great journey. Let's see. Okay, finally. Willem asked me to do a regulatory update of like what has been happening the past 12 months and also maybe what can we expect. And these are the 7 points I would like to touch on, which I think have been, the trends in the past 12 months and they will also stay for a while. So the first one, it's as we all know, the decision from the Spanish Supreme Court. I think Willem has some connection with the Supreme Court because it was the right timing for this conference. I think it was right a few weeks before the conference. The same with the influencers law. So basically on the first one, you all know what has happened. That there's been a decision from the Supreme Court that has annulled some articles of the Royal Decree on Commercial Communications. We will touch more on this because there's a special panel on advertising restrictions. But basically of course, as you all know, this opens many possibilities to marketing, online promotions with bonuses, social networks, share video platforms. So this opens various possibilities. And the big question also, well, there's 2 questions, is when can we start doing this publicity, which, well, let's say to make it short, because maybe we will talk more about this, I would say that from now, okay, but then we will maybe talk about the small letters about this. And the other question is for how long this will last. So if the government will issue new regulations with the degree of a law to reinstate these articles in the Spanish legal system, okay? But this we will touch on in other panels. Then the second point is the royal decree that was issued like a few days ago, basically on influencers. And this touches every sector, every online sector. It's not only gambling, but of course it's also relevant for this sector. And basically it's a very short royal decree. It's very easy to read, but basically what it does, it defines what is a big influencer. And basically it says that it's a person that have a turnover over 300,000 euros. This is considered like, let's say, a big influencer, or looking at the audience. And when it looks at the audience, it says influencers that have over 1 million people of audience in one unique social media network, or 2 million in aggregated social media networks. So this is the main issue. And when you are considered as a big influencer, you have to register in a registry, okay? And you have to comply with certain regulations, like for minors and control advertising that some messages that you have to put in your communications, etc. How does this affect the sector? Well, mainly because gambling operators that want to use influencers, you will have to check that they are in this registry. Okay, so you will have to work with influencers which are complying with the law. So when you talk to them, you have to tell them, okay, show me that you have been well, if your audience is bigger than 1 million or 2 millions, or your turnover is above 300,000, then you have to show me that you have been registered. So I think this affects you in that way. Another regulation that that has been, I think, has given a lot of work to gambling operators, especially on the technical side. It's all the safe gambling, the Royal Decree on safe gambling. As you know, operators have had to make a lot of technical changes to comply with this Royal Decree. Even just recently, past the 15th of March, there were still some of its requirements that were coming into place, like the control of the sessions for the amounts or the control of the sessions on time, the prohibition of some payment means, also some prohibitions for young players. So even just recently in March, some of these requirements were coming in place. And even in September this year, there's some small still requirements coming in place. So I think you all know, about this Royal Decree. Probably we'll talk about it a bit more. This Royal Decree, makes me think of a topic, which is that is this market over-regulated and over, the complexity in compliance in this market? I mean, could it maybe be made simpler in a way, because there's so many regulations for operators to comply, which make it very difficult to comply with everything. Even if you have the 100% will of complying, still, you can make errors, because it's the mapping of all the regulations. It's quite complex from our perspective, advertising, technically, etc. Then another topic is the cross-operator deposit limits. As you know, there's some deposit limits for daily, weekly, monthly, and the regulations coming into place at some point to centralize this, and that these deposits are controlled by the DGOG, and it's a cross-operator. So there's also a panel on this, which they will touch base more in depth on this, but this is also a regulatory issue. Another issue is on loot boxes. As you know, there's some draft regulation on loot boxes. Actually, this affects more gaming, video gaming companies than gambling companies in reality. But still, basically what the Spanish government is considering, and also other governments in other states, although Spain it's more the first on this, if it passes this law, is that loot boxes could work like maybe the algorithm is like a slot machine, because basically there's an algorithm, a random generator in the loot box. So they're looking at video gaming companies to put some restrictions on them. Again, always for minors, also informing that there's loot boxes, maybe also having some controls on the amounts that you can spend on this. Also advertising, that there's this situation, and also creating a registry of these loot boxes. I mean, the DGOG has said that, this sector, the video gaming sector, is not very transparent to them. And, it's normal. I mean, we work in the video gaming sector and on the gambling sector, and we have always seen that, although sometimes these sectors want to work together, I mean, the type of users and the type of business have nothing to do. They're totally different, and their synergies and their dynamics are very, very different. Sometimes we have worked on companies that try to move players from gaming to gambling and all this, but it's very difficult. I mean, it's totally different sectors. Also, the gaming industry is not interested in going into gambling, because they don't want all the regulations. They're very happy to operate in the way they operate, and not having a regulator telling them what to do, and they're happy to do their games in the way they want to do them, and not having regulation. So these sectors are very separate, but it's true that sometimes there's a crossroad between them too. Actually, it's interesting. This law might be now more interesting, because the Minister Bustindui, that's a name that it's a bit difficult sometimes to say. The minister said that maybe they will use this law to reinstate the articles that they removed from the Royal Decree of Communications. So maybe they will use this legislative initiative to reinstate those articles. So if that's the case, then this law will become very, very relevant. But initially was for loot boxes. There's a topic I wanted to touch base, which is the fining proceedings by the DGOG. Like a year ago, the DGOG published in their website all the fining procedures that it has issued and operators that they have fined. And we created like in our office, like a registry of all the fines, and we have analyzed all the fines because we can see this way, when we have an operator that has a fine or a fining procedure, how to best defend it. It's like the jurisprudence of the DGOG, and for us it's relevant. And this I wanted to show you a chart. I mean, we have bigger charts with all the claims and the analysis of the different claims, okay? But just for you to see the track record of the DGOG on sanctions. Illegal gambling, there's been 46. Illegal gambling, there's fines between 1 million and 5 million euros. The problem is that no one pays them, okay? But the fines are very high. But normally these operators are in Curaçao or in many other countries, and they change. And sometimes we get requests from this type of operators say, oh, we received this, what can we do, and all this. Well, you can respond and defend yourself, and show who you are, etc. In which case, probably you will have to pay 5 million euros, or you can run away, because that's okay. Normally they prefer to run away. Okay, so this, there's very big fines, but very little income for the regulator. Still, there's 46 fines. But still, we listen to the industry complaining about illegal gambling. There's still a lot of illegal gambling, so it proves that this is not efficient. Because, they issue the paper with the fine, but that's it. They cannot chase these operators, or they don't put the means to chase them, because some of them have connections with EU countries and with EU licenses. So not all of them are just the cowboys out there. I mean, some of them have also a regular business, but also are in the .com. So, maybe the DGOG should put the means to follow this up, although it's difficult, okay? So there was some years ago, we were trying to go against one of illegal operator, and everything was stopped because a certified letter had to be sent to Curaçao, and this cost like 50 euros, and it was stopped at the administrative procedures for the payment of those 50 euros. So it's not easy to follow these guys if you start with all the bureaucracy in this way. But as I said, even if there's many proceedings, there's complaints in the industry that illegal gambling is growing. So, maybe it's not working in the way it's being done at the moment. Commercial communications, it's the second one in the ranking. There has been 28 fines. But these are very small, between 6,000 and 10,000. And also, and we have find that some of them we have received that, okay, it's just a warning, don't do it again, but there's not been a fine. But in reality, for commercial communications, the fines have been very low, and which is good news. And actually, the one that we received as a warning is the first one we have ever received. We're very surprised and very happy. But it's not common. Normally, it's not like that. Then ban persons' access to gambling. Yes, minors, prohibited people, etc. Okay, I'm going to... Yes, the DGOG takes it very seriously, of course, and the fines are bigger, 75,000 to 200,000. I think you guys that run operators, you know how it is. If a minor play or someone that is a prohibited person plays, the DGOG takes very seriously. Organization of lotteries, bigger, smaller fines, breach of technical requirements. Also, maybe when you do a substantial change or you do other changes and you are not following the right procedure, you can also get a fine. And technical systems homologation, these are very little. So, thanks very much. And I think that's it. There's no questions or anything, right, Willem?
No, the questions will come later. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.